Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to talk about the Orlando Magic today. The Orlando Magic scored 50 points in the first quarter against the Hawks last night. And although they're only 9-20, they've showed some flashes of their young players and, when they're actually healthy and when most of their guys are playing, especially Fultz, who has recently came back. They actually are a decent team. So let's see how they scored 50 points against the Hawks in the first quarter. First play is just a good defensive, collapse on Trae Young. It makes him lose the ball. It's probably a kick, maybe. Got a little fortunate with that, but Wagner, who's been the starting center lately, gets the dunk. Next play, you see a screen for Paolo. However, he doesn't really take the screen. He knows that he can beat Capella off the bounce. Johnson picks him up, but Paolo's way too strong for him. Next play is an offensive rebound. Bol, who's probably the most improved player this season, gets the offensive rebound and just puts it up over DeAndre Hunter. Nobody's stopping that. This play, you see Wagner with the post up. It looks like the Hawks are playing a little bit of a zone. You can see that there's a little bit of miscommunication on this side. Trae Young is pointing at Griffin to take Bol. However, Capella should probably be the one to take Bol. They both go to Bol. Trae Young goes to Fultz. And Wagner's wide open for the three. And since Capella is playing zone, there's obviously, the breakdown of the zone is obviously in the middle or setting a screen for one of the guys in the corner or one of the shooters up top, just so you can play the advantage. See, miscommunication. Capella never really steps out of his zone, and Wagner gets the open three. This time, Fultz just drives past Trae Young, gets a reverse layup. He's been great when coming back into the starting lineup, and he showed some good signs of just helping this team flow a little bit better. This time, Bol has the ball. Like I said, it's a zone, so obviously Trae Young's at the top of the zone. Doesn't really matter who has the ball, but DeAndre Hunter commits too much, and Wagner's one pass away, and Franz gets the open three. And even on this side, he's this time defending. Trae Young gets trapped with Bol in front of him, with Wagner on the baseline as well. It's tough to throw that pass. Franz covers the corner as well. This time Markelle just gets into the paint, but then realizes that he should probably kick it out since there's two Hawks in the paint, or even three, and Franz gets an open three. It's crazy how much talent is in the NBA that even Orlando on some nights that Franz, Paolo, Fultz, these guys, they can light it up at any moment. Bol gets a steal, probably a charge, but Wagner doesn't care, and Mo Wagner gets an easy layup. This time Fultz is dribbling it up. They're still kind of in that zone. Culver helps to the middle. However, Paolo does a good job of getting into the middle of that zone. Fultz recognizes it, sees the pass, and then Paolo can either rise up or even throw the lob to Bol. However, he's confident enough in his own shot and gets the bucket to fall. Another nice defensive possession. Recovering Paolo. Wagner steps up. Fultz gets the steal. This time he's confident just to get 1-by-1. 1v1 and gets the scoop layup. This time you see they're still in the zone. Capella's not really picking up anybody. He's just kind of playing the paint. Wagner recognizes that. Wagner sets the screen for Ross. He can either cut back door or come off the screen. Paolo sees it as well, and Ross does a good job of just baiting Culver a little bit, goes right and then goes back left. Might be a moving screen on Wagner, but we'll let it pass. And like you said, the 2-3 zone, you need to set screens off ball or get in the paint. So we saw Paolo get in the paint last possession or a couple of possessions ago, and now you see Mo Wagner setting the screen for Ross, and Ross, that's his bread and butter right there. Once again, transition. The Hawks were actually 0 for 6 from 3, which actually probably contributed a little bit as well in this first quarter, because it's going to be probably long rebounds and getting out in transition, not everybody matching up so quickly. This time Paolo just attacks a 1v1, even though you see advantage on the weak side. You have 3 basically Magic players, 2 Hawks players. Paolo does a good job recognizing that. Nobody's picking up Franz on the corner, on the wing. He gets an open 3 again. So basically the Hawks would keep playing zone. However, obviously it didn't work in the first quarter. This time Franz comes off a pick and roll with Mo Bamba. The nice pass, bounce pass to Bamba. Once again, you have a 3-on-2 on the weak side. Ross and Paolo and Bamba versus Bogdanovich and Culver. Bamba can probably kick it to the corner as well with Paolo. However, he's, obviously thinks he's big enough to just go right over Culver and gets the and one. This time Cole, another way to break down the zone, obviously, is nobody picks you up top. You just dribble right down the middle, and he does a nice job of laying it off to Bamba and gets a pretty decent layup. Let's see how their zone was. Yeah, they never really just collapsed the front 2 players of the zone. And then once you get in the paint, obviously it's pretty much done deal. Once again, some Ross gets in the paint, kicks it out. This time, nobody picks him up because it's still zone. I don't know if Okongwu thinks where he's playing. Let's see where he is at the beginning of the play. Yep. So he's in the middle. Kind of thinks he's still playing in the middle. However, nobody's on the right side, and Ross gets a open corner 3. This time a simple pick and roll with Bamba. Kind of an angle pick and roll. Gets him to the right side. Hawks kind of force him baseline. A little bit of ice coverage. However, Cole just crosses over. Even though Bamba's wide open, he just takes a jumper. And Cole's been a pretty good 6-man off the bench with Fultz getting back into the starting lineup. And they're still missing Suggs, and they're still missing, obviously, Jonathan Isaac, who hasn't played all season or last season. So, they're on a 4-game win streak. They do have some talented players, and they can win on pretty much any given night. They beat the Clippers. They're obviously on a 4-game win streak, so I'm excited to see where this team keeps heading. The East is obviously really tough with the Wizards and the Bulls ahead of them just to get into the play-in. But, we'll see. We'll see how the Magic do it. But, that was an impressive first quarter. I didn't see any first quarter that was, that high scoring, except for the Warriors with Durant. When they had Durant and obviously Clay and Steph and Draymond, they scored 51. But the Magic scored 50 in this first quarter. And, we'll see if they can keep it going. See if they can keep this winning streak going. But, I'm excited to see how this Magic season plays out. All right, thanks, guys. Like the video, subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time.